us through a structured process for the listeners as well on where you start with mindset.
Well, the very first thing we walk through is goal setting, which is just kind of where it all should begin. We need that foundation, right, on how to set goals and how to create SMART goals. I mean, I kind of like the acronym SMART. I kind of changed some of the meanings because I hate the words like realistic, because I think that's shouldn't be anywhere around goals. Goals are not something you should currently be able to do. They're supposed to be out of your reach so that you have to
Unrealistic.
go and change to get them. Exactly. They should be something you can't do. You
Yeah.
have to figure out how to get there. So it's creating a goal that's specific, and it's something you're reaching toward. But then also, if you have this big goal that you can't currently do, how are you supposed to get there? So I really walk them through creating a plan of action to reach that goal. And there's something that happens in your mind as you not just write down this goal that you have. Like, you can have a goal in your head, but when you start writing it down, when you start telling people what it is, it becomes more real to you, more tangible, something you're committing to. But then also you start writing out this plan of action to get there. Suddenly you realize that it's actually possible. Like, okay, well, if I do these things, I can actually work my way to that level. And that it's something that just those little tiny, things that you're changing in your brain that starts to process it different, and it becomes this real thing. So we make that foundation first, and we talk about motivation, how, you have to have motivation, because even the most motivated person in the world is going to have a bad day. They're going to have a day of doubt. They're going to have, days where they don't want to get out of bed in the morning. But if you want something because of some reason, you have that why, that's what gets you out of bed. That's what makes you push through when it's hard or uncomfortable. So kind of making that our firm foundation. And then we walk through things like how to move past failure. You have to grieve it. You have to be able to walk past it and know that the next event is not a do-over. It's a clean slate. It's not the same event again. This is a brand new opportunity. You're walking in with a different perspective of it. We talk about preparation, creating routines around training and competition, and how it's the preparation that leads to that state of flow or that athlete zone. There's certain things we kind of walk through, like the 10 things that make up the athlete zone. But how getting into the zone isn't just something that magically happens. Like, you have to prepare for that so you can allow your body and your mind to get into that state. We walk through fear, how to manage fear, how to manage that voice inside your head, how to deal with emotions, not by controlling them, but learning how to guide them and use them, because they're powerful.
I like that.
And you
So
should,
my daughter's
yeah.
got fear now when she does, gymnastics, and she's got the next thing to do. How do you deal with that fear? Because you never want to deny the fear, and you got to accept it, but then you got to live in the same space. So give me a little bit of a quick coaching lesson on how a 6-year-old deals with fear as she's just about to do this gymnastic move.
And I love it, because I made a 5-day fear challenge, because fear is really common in my sport too. And that's just something, especially with the pandemic, fear became a very big thing for everyone. So fear is really like learning what fear is, that it's not a tangible thing. It's a feeling, it's an emotion you have in your mind. And it's based, it's your mind protecting yourself, trying to protect you from something, but it's not real. It's just a feeling, and it can feel real, and it can feel powerful, and it can make you feel powerful emotions. But when you know that it's just a feeling, and you can start calling out and naming what it is that you're scared of, and looking at that, and okay, how do I rewire my brain around that? Like, if I am scared of hitting the platform, okay, well, how do I need to address that? So I'm not just, I can call it out. I know I'm just scared of this. It's not an actual thing that is happening to me currently. I'm scared it will happen. So how do I kind of change my mind around that? Well, you either need to say something positive, like, I know if I do this certain action, I won't hit the platform. You're rewiring it in a positive way in your brain, because we can't process the negative things. We don't really understand that. It just gravitates us toward that negative thing. So when you're thinking about it in a positive way, like, if I, keep my head tall, then I won't be anywhere near the platform. I will be safe. Or my coach is going to teach me the right techniques, or ask a question. How can I do X so that I'm a safe distance from the platform? So it's just rephrasing it a little bit in your mind, instead of, I'm scared I'm going to hit the platform, don't hit the platform. Because you say don't hit the platform, all you're thinking about is hitting the platform. But if you can change that to do a certain technique, or you're asking a question of how I move past this, you start reacting to it. You think about it differently, which means you respond and react to it differently. And it allows you to calm down a little bit. So it's a lot of that voice inside our head, and learning how to recognize what it's saying, and then how to appropriately change it so that you can move